Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Hoova Pava. This is Chuck Campbell.
With Wayne Bledsoe and...
I'm John Baker.
That's Finnish.
Oh, okay.
The first country to jump on board this morning was Finland. So
Oh, cool.
There we go.
I like Finland. One of my favorite Christmas movies is from Finland.
What is it?
It's called Rare Exports. It's the one where they excavate and find the real Santa Claus and he's a monster.
Sounds like a cherished Christmas film for everybody.
He'll shoot your eye out.
They'll shoot your head off. It's this monster's really scary. It's good.
Well, we're going to play a game today that most people have played at some point. We're going to talk about the albums we would want with us if we were stranded on a desert island.
And I took it really, really seriously,
This
and Chuck
caused
didn't.
all kinds of stress for Wayne, which, you know...
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, I know. I didn't see... He came in here with 60
and that was whittled down.
That just... unbelievable. We really did a Freaky Friday on this Sunday today.
I'm still deciding. You know, I'm going to make my final
deciding.
number.
It took me like a day and a half to come up with 10.
Really? Oh,
It
man.
didn't take me that long, really. I mean, well, I had my own way of doing it, and I made it a more peaceful experiment for me because it's like, normally you do something like this, and it's like, okay, here are my 10 favorite albums, you know,
Right.
That's it. And I kind of looked at it and thought, okay, I'm assuming this is going to be like a castaway island, you know, a tropical island where you'll be able to find food and get shelter and all that.
Right.
And I assume that somehow miraculously there's electricity or Wi-Fi or some means of listening to this music. And then I thought, well, why would I need music? What kind of needs would I have while I'm out there that music can help? I didn't do it as strictly a 10 favorite albums.
I kept trying.
Where was your mind going, Wayne?
Well, it was, you know, I thought a little bit about that too, and I was trying, okay, let's whittle this down that way. Because I couldn't bear the thought of, y'all never hear this song again, or I'll never hear this album again. And it's like...
That's so fretful. I don't know why that was you and not me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was, because it was like, oh, man, what if I had to live for the rest of my life and I could never hear this music again?
I said it before, but Wayne, this isn't really going to happen.
No, it's not, but I take it seriously.
Just a game. No one's going to make you pick 10 albums.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But the thing is, like, next week it would be a different list except for maybe the first 4.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
five.
Yeah.
Even my, I mean, like I said when I first started it, and I said before we turned record on, but like the first 5 was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But those first 5 could change by day.
Well,
Sure.
you know, I always say my favorite album is the White Album by the Beatles, and that's like the one. And it's funny because I was thinking about it. It's like my top 5 Beatles songs are not on an album. Maybe not even my top 10.
Right. That does cause some problems.
But
Because there were some
But
acts
that was my number one album too.
Yeah,
The
well,
White Album. I mean, it's just got everything on it. It's got so much variety.
and it's a journey. You know, you can put it on. I mean, I remember the first time I bought it. I put it on, and it was like I didn't want to stop listening to it. It felt like I had been someplace by the time it was over. And I think if you're on a desert island, I mean, that's kind of the perfect thing you want.
Exactly, yeah.
Things you discover, because, I mean, like I said, I like all the songs nearly on it.
Right.
I mean, Wild Honey Pie I could do without. But it also, you know, just adds sort of a little accent in the middle of it. What you're laughing about? What are you laughing about now?
Keep going.
But it's like, you know, it's got all these songs that I like, and I'll like more the more I listen to them. I mean, Strawberry Fields Forever's not on it. You know,
Right.
Tomorrow Never
You
Knows
can
is
have
not
more
on it.
than one Beatles album if that's what you want.
No, I couldn't possibly, because there's too many people I'd be leaving out.
Okay.
But, you know, the White Album is like, if I only had to have one album, it would be the White Album, because there's so much.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I love Revolver. I love Abbey Road. They're all fantastic records.
Yeah, and I think
all
those
of
two
them are fantastic. But
those two are probably their best records.
yeah,
I don't think the White Album is their best record, but it's the one that means the most to me.
yeah, I think so too. So that was my number one.
What's your number one, Chuck?
It's not the White Album.
Of course it's not.
It's not the White Album. It's one that makes the most sense for me. I have recommended this album before, but it's Mondo Exotica. It's a compilation album. It's the only compilation album in my top 10. It's Exotica music. It's got my favorite, Martin Denny. It's got like 6 songs by him.
Right.
It's got 4 by Les Baxter and a few more. What I've said before about this album is what it does for me is it levels my mood. So
Right.
I can listen to it in intense traffic, but I'm in a bubble and I'm calm. So if I need it for that. It can also elevate my mood if I'm feeling kind of down or flat or whatever. It just gives me what I need. And it's instrumental, so I wouldn't have like words and stories and lyrics and vocals in my head trying to lead me down some path that I may not want to go. And just for I don't know, for memory's sake, this album is forever linked to me to a trip I took to Maui, particularly a few days in Hana in the rainforest of eastern Maui, where I was fortunate enough to be in a little house on the beach, watching the rain come through, and then the sun and the rain, and then being in the infinity pool at midnight and watching the palm trees in front of the moon, and being by myself. I had a lot of solitary time or in my own head, and there was no TV or anything, so this is really all I listened to. So it's linked to a really memorable, important time. That's also related to a tropical island, so it's like I think it would just be a good settling type of music for me.
Well, and music and memory are so closely tied
Yes,
together.
absolutely.
I mean, I can hear a song and it transports me back to just like really vividly there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me that would be your pick, and it is so appropriate for an island.
Exactly. So, see, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, I have to have that. I don't care who I'm leaving out. That one's definitely in there. My second one kind of is familiar. I'll go on to my number 2 here. I wanted something. You guys have a lot of older albums, and I was eliminating those because I think with time and distance, old music that I've heard, it's something you did say before the show that you can just kind of turn it on in your head and hear it, and that's what I think about a lot of the old. So some of my favorites from olden days, I thought I don't really have to have those. I want things a little more recent because I've changed. I've changed since I was a kid, and I'm a different person now. It doesn't mean I don't like the music then, but I need things that more reflect who I am now. But I made an exception. I wanted something that reminded me of my friends and something from my school days, and that's the B-52s. Now, when I thought about the B-52s, and part of that's because me and my friends, we all liked them. I've talked about this before. We all liked them. It was the first concert I remember going to. Here I go again. First concert I remember going to was the B-52s. And I felt like they were my friends. I talked about that experience of going into that show and seeing them on stage after listening to their albums and everything. And just like, oh my God, they're right in front of me. They're singing together. Plus, they have so much joy in their music and happiness. And they're weird, too. I like that. But I thought, if I'm going to take a B-52s one, I don't want one of the oldest ones, though. As much as I like those, I do know them. And, I'm not in junior high or whatever, high school anymore. So I thought I would go with Cosmic Thing, which is from 1989, because it's really beautiful. They refined a lot of their earlier albums where they were eccentric for eccentricity's sake, right? But they're later, this Cosmic Thing is something they recorded after their member Ricky Wilson had died. He was the brother of member Cindy Wilson. And it had a lot more maturity and warmth, and it has kind of a cosmic kind of thing to it. And one of the songs, it's got Love Shack and Rome and Deadbeat Club and Follow Your Bliss. There are a lot of beautiful songs on there, but the one that really sticks out for me is the song Topaz. And it is just immediately puts me in this vibe. And it's talking about the universe is expanding, some hills are never seen, and blah, blah, blah. And it's sung with just the women, really, in their beautiful melodies about harmonies, about just being somewhere you've never been before. And I thought, if I'm alone on a tropical island and they're singing, I've got this music about them seeing places that have never been seen before, I think it would try to give me some happiness that I might feel. And it would make me feel warm to feel the B-52s as my friends, plus all my friends from when I was young.
Well, I eliminated the B-52s only because I got frustrated trying to decide between a collection, Nude on the Moon, which would get my favorites from the first two albums.
Right.
Because I couldn't decide between the first two
Right,
albums.
they're both great. I couldn't either if I had to.
And Cosmic Thing, which is probably their overall best album.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I have so much sentimental attraction to, but it's like I eliminated it because I got frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I do love them.
They say murder your darlings. You know, that's an old literary standby. Whatever's most important to you, you eliminate that, and it frees you to embrace other things.
Well, for my second one, I picked Mike Craver's Wagner's Lad and here's a case where I listened to his music a long time with the Red Clay Ramblers, and then we got to be friends. And right about the time that I met him and we got to be friends was when this album came out. Mm-hmm. But I love every song on it. Again, like the White Album, if you put it on from start to finish, it feels like a journey. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of Appalachia. It reminds me of growing up, just in a place that's like this with all this history.
I feel that. Yeah.
And the songs are just, a lot of them are really gothic. Mm-hmm. But man, they've got so much heart, and you feel what people are like in these songs. And as I've said before, if you're going to die on this island, it's got my favorite song about death.
Right. Well, that was the whole thing. I was like, am I going to resign myself to being on this island? Is there any chance I'm going to be rescued?
Yeah.
And I'll say right off the bat, if it's like a polar island or a cold temperate island, it doesn't matter what music, because I'm just going to build anything to get on a raft and just go out to sea and take my chances, because I'm not going to die on a snowy island.
Yeah, I don't want to. If I were going to be on an island stranded,
palm trees.
I imagine warmth, not cold.
That's why I said castaway scenario. You can get by.
Yeah. The name of the album is Wagner's Tale.
Wagner's Lad. Yeah, Wagner's Lad, and Mike I've always said he's like the best undiscovered singer-songwriter in the country. A lot of people do know him. He's toured all over the country with the Red Clay Ramblers, but he's one of those names that
you pointed out a song. I think it's something you would want played at your funeral.
Yeah, One Day When Now Is Gone.
I looked that up, and it was a beautiful song.
Yeah, he is just, and he's a super guy anyway. He's as nice as we visit with him every time we're going to the beach. He's on our way.
Right.
So we stop and have lunch, and he is just, everything I hoped he'd be. Just
cool.
Nicest guy in the world, and great, great talent.
All right. You got a number 2 album out there, John?
I guess when I first thought of this, I thought, well, the first thing I gotta get a Beatles record, just because it's got to be Beatles record. And then I thought, well, I got to have a Stones record too. So I went with Sticky Fingers, which, that whole period from the mid 60s, they didn't put out a bad record. Beggars Banquet is amazing. Let It Bleed is amazing. It's hard to pick. Exile on Main Street is amazing. I just think Exile on Main Street's a little too rambling for me. It kind of goes all over the place, and it's maybe too long. Maybe it would have made a really great single record, but Sticky Fingers, start to finish, is just great. And it's got Mick Taylor just killing it on guitar. He must not have gotten along with them, because he was the best guitar player they ever had.
By far. That was the best period of the Rolling Stones, period.
So I've just loved that record, and I can't stand the thought of not having it available.
Well, it was not my number 3 particularly, but it's like Let It Bleed.
Yeah.
Which is just underneath Sticky Fingers to me. Those are their 2 best albums.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'd have to have Let It Bleed.
So you have Let It Bleed.
Yeah, Let It Bleed. Yeah, and it's got Gimme Shelter.
Okay, that's what I say. What was on that?
It's got the title track. It's got Live With Me, which I think is one of the most underappreciated songs. It's just so nasty.
Oh my God, the song Let It Bleed. I forgot all about that song.
And what's the one, Well, I Followed Her to the Station?
The Love in Vain.
It's
a Robert Johnson.
It's a Robert Johnson song. But man, he does the best. His vocal and Mick Jagger's vocal inflections on that song are just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those albums when it came out. I remember, I was like 9 when it came out, but I remember hearing people say, "Oh, wasn't that good?" Whatever. It's like, I think it's their best album.
Yeah. Well, I may have to change mine, but I do love Sticky Fingers too.
Well, I think Sticky Fingers.
You can have 2.
Well, I know, but I only got 10 slots.
Yeah. But yeah, Sticky Fingers is my second favorite Stones album. But man, Let It Bleed is just like, it kills me. I love it.
Well, I'm realizing I didn't really go with albums that I thought were the best albums. I went with touchy-feely entries
Well, but
that I would enjoy.
But that's touchy-feely to me, too. Let It Bleed is like, I get an emotional connection to that one.
Okay, good. So I'm thinking I might need energy out on this island, because you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta find your food. You gotta build your shelter. Anything happens, it's totally upon you. I thought I've got to have techno. I've got to have a techno album, and Front 242. That's my go-to. That's always been there for me with my workouts, and it always lifts me. And I like how their lyrics are weird, and you're not sure where they're going with them. And this music has a personal feeling for me because I took Front 242 with me across 4 continents. Right. I traveled with them across the U.S., across Europe many times, across Africa, across South America. So they were always with me, and I have connections with them in all these different places in the world that I've been, with Front 242, oddly enough, playing in the background. And it does just kind of give me an energy that I need. And I'm going with Live Code from 1993. That's because it's a live album. They have a few different albums that I would want songs from, and all of these are on the live album. So I just thought I'm going to go ahead and go with them. And I like hearing them live because they really mix up how they perform stuff. So that's not necessarily my third one, but that's a third one.
Right. And if you're
not number 3, but you know what?
And if you're angry about being on that album, Front 242 is like got a lot of anger for you.
They could, but I got another better angry one. So,
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'll do them next.
Okay. Well, I've got finish out my British invasion, childhood stuff that I've loved. The Kinks.
Oh,
Lola versus what?
Who?
Don't.
Okay.
The Kinks. Lola versus the Power Man and the Money Go Round.
That's a great record.
It's like, it was hard for me to choose a Kinks album.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I chose one as well.
I bet I know what yours is going to be too.
It's Arthur, The Decline and Fall of the British Empire.
Oh, okay. That's
the first one that I really got into like deeply, where I was listening to the lyrics and listening to Ray Davis's ironic sense of wealth inequality and just power inequality, and he's just got such a unique perspective on things, and that's got such great songs on it.
Yeah.
The one about, I know the world's going to hell, but we're going out driving. It's just like we're going to go drive around just because everything in the world sucks, so we're just going to go drive.
Yeah.
And it's just a happy song. Then
go ahead.
So many of the songs on there are just good. There's one, Young and Innocent Days, which is just a gorgeous song about just youth and about how when you were a kid. And
was this maybe their happiest, most upbeat album, or?
Not really.
Okay.
No, because it's got soldiers dying in fields and
Shangri-La, which is my favorite on that album, is like sort of how suburbia is not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, all the houses on the street have a name because all the houses on the street look the same. It's kind of like
Life ain't so. What is it? Life ain't so happy in your little Shangri-La. Yeah. But I picked. That is.
There's so many great Kinks records, and Lola versus Power Man could be it. Muswell Hillbillies could be it.
Muswell Hillbillies is great too.
It's a great record.
Yeah, it would kill me not to hear 20th Century Man again.
What did you think I was going to pick?
I thought you were going to pick Village Green Preservation Society.
I like that record, but it gets so overblown that I don't think it's as good as everybody says. It's like the classic Kinks album, and it kind of is. And I think Arthur, it came out about the same time as Village Green, but it was supposed to be for a movie, and the movie never came out.
Right.
And so Arthur just kind of got lost because everybody said Village Green was so great, but Arthur sticks together for me, song for song.
I like Village Green better than Arthur, but to me, Lola is, and it has of course, their biggest or most famous hit, not their biggest hit maybe, because, that and All Day and All the Night and You Really Got Me are the biggest one. Well, and Come Dancing later on. What?
And Paranoia even later.
That was one of their big hits.
I know.
But Lola is like, it's got Strangers, which is Dave Davis' best song with the Kinks. And it's got This Time Tomorrow, which is, it is so good, talking about flying across the countries and, looking down at everything that's going on.
And the cynicism about the music industry.
Yeah. Yeah,
talking about, I hate your song, I hate your look, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign you up because I hate to be wrong.
Well, would that wake you up on a desert island, or would it be?
Yeah, it would. It would charge
dinner
me up.
Music, or
it would be one of those things where it's another one where you get into it. There's a story to it actually, but you can pick out all the individual songs and
That was their first for Warner Brothers, I think.
No, that was their last for Reprise, Warner Brothers Reprise. Then they went to RCA.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew that was a transitional album, but
yeah, that was their last album for Warner Reprise, or Pie in England. But anyway, great album, and it would kill me not to be able to hear it again.
It's not really going to happen. I promise.
Okay, all right.
I'll do my angry album here.
Okay.
Now, I've liked angry music over the years. I liked the Pretenders' first 2 albums. I like some old Blondie stuff. I like 9 Inch Nails and all that. But I think I would go with Divinal's Temperamental. And part of that is because Christina Amphlett, their late lead singer, was a tour de force. People just know her from Touch Myself, which is just one of those unfortunate things because none of their music, anything else they ever did, sounded like that song. It was a good song and enticing, and she certainly can turn on the sex appeal and everything. But Temperamental is temperamental, and she's angry and she's combative, and but she's also kind of weird, kind of sexy going on. It's a good variety of music, but it's guitar, adrenalized, music, and she's the just right force to take a hold of it and run with it. And it just, like I say, she's flirty, angry, surreal, powerful, and she was just a dynamo. And I think an extra edge that I would give Divinals is they kind of feel like my band, you know. It's just one of those that other people don't know about. They should. It's a shame they don't. They know. Were about they
Australian?
Yeah, they're Australian. So I think listening to her, I feel like she's singing more to me because, someone like Pretenders or Blondie or 9 Inch Nails or whatever, I can imagine millions of people hearing it, and it would kind of diminish it a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
And plus, this one's a little more recent than like the old school days kind of albums when I understood the anger, but I didn't understand how complex anger could be when I was in school.
Yeah, well.
And this was much later, and she's tapping into all the different angles of anger and just being a bulldog.
I didn't pick anything that made me that I would be able to get out my anger with.
Well, yeah, it's therapeutic though with her.
Right.
It's like, and I've got another one that's kind of like that too. There's anger on it, but it's not. She doesn't just get stuck in it, and she moves on. So that's a good thing to get through. Well, you might get mad. I mean, if you're on an island, you're
I'm sure
pissed
you would be.
off, and you're by yourself, and you may never see anybody again. I mean, you're going to feel rage.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I went with things that gave me comfort because I thought I would need a lot more comfort.
Yeah.
So let me go on the 2 here that I've got. The Innocence Mission, and it was hard for me to decide between We Walked In Song and Befriended because they're both great albums and they both gave me great comfort through deaths in my family, and they still do. I mean, I pull them out all the time and put them on, and they make me feel connected to something because they are about grief.
Okay.
Both of them. It's the Karen Paris, the head singer-songwriter. Her parents died during this time, and these songs have a lot of songs about people dying and going on and stuff like that. And it's like, if I'm on this desert island, there's probably a lot of people who died on the boat that went down or wherever it is.
Right. So,
maybe it was a blimp.
Right. Maybe it was a blimp.
It could have been biplane,
So I've got that one, or one of those, but I went with Walked In Song. And Amina Kerr, which is, Amina's the Icelandic, started out as a 4-women instrumental band, and they added a guy, and then they added vocals too, though I don't think he sings. But Kerr is the sound that the birds make, apparently in Iceland. And
they sing differently there.
Yeah, and they do vocals, but they're wordless vocals.
Yeah,
and it is extraordinarily comforting to listen to. It's one of those things you could put on to go to sleep, but it's if you can stay awake and listen because it's so interesting.
The artist is Amina.
Amina, it's Amina, in A. And they're just terrific. There's bowed saws, there's bells, there's all sorts of, non-traditional instrumentation on here.
Could inspire you to create your own, at least percussive instruments on an island. There were a lot of things you could use.
True. I mean, that's one of those things that's like, it sounds otherworldly and inventive. So there's two of mine. So I'm down to 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I better catch up. I'm on 4.
Okay.
And this is a band, it's XTC, English Settlement. Mm-hmm. I was at a music store on the Cumberland Avenue Strip, which is the road that runs right through the middle of University of Tennessee campus, for those of you in Finland that are not familiar with Knoxville. But there was a record store there, and I used to just love going to a record store. And I would just spend a couple of hours just going through the stacks and flipping through records. And I had 2 or 3 in my arm, and coming from the opposite direction was Wayne and I's mutual friend, Todd Steed. And we got down to the end of the alphabet, and he pulled out English Settlement by XTC. And I'd heard the name of the band before, and he said, "Have you heard this record?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Put all those back and get this one." And
did you?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And I remember it was wintertime, and I was in a band that was touring, and I put it on tape, and I listened to it while we were touring in the back of a van in the middle of the winter. And if I hear an album when I first hear it, if I just love it right off the bat, I'm not going to like it for very long. It's like cotton candy.
Right.
And it took me a while to understand what XTC was doing. And it's really complicated music, which I love. It's got a lot of stuff going on in it, and you really have to listen to multiple times to really understand all the different things that are going on. Andy Partridge is the lead singer and main leader of the band, and he's just one of the best songwriters I know. And it's hard for me to pick just one XTC record, but I picked this one. It's a double record, which I guess you get more of it. Mm-hmm. But also it's got a lot of variety on it. It was the last album. Andy Partridge famously had, he was on Valium since he was a kid. And he was on
Valium as a kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's just, when you get to know his songs, his brain is just hyperactive.
Right.
And, but the XTC was touring, and this was the last record that they toured for, and his then girlfriend found out about his Valium and flushed them all down the commode.
Oh, no.
And withdrawal off of Xanax or any kind of diazepam it's one of the most addicting drugs there is. And he just went into an anxiety spiral and actually had an anxiety attack on stage and just said, "I'm done. I'm not playing live anymore." And so English Settlement was the last album that they toured to support. And after that, all their albums after that are just them in the studio because they didn't tour anymore because Andy Partridge just couldn't do it.
Tell me he broke up with her.
He did.
Good.
Oh, yeah. And there's a great angry album about that.
Is that your alphabet, your dictionary?
Your dictionary. That song is like the meanest songs of all time.
You just don't flush down a man's anti-anxiety medication,
You got to wean off of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, and that's the first album that yielded they had a couple of sort of minor hits, but this one has Senses Working Overtime, which was the first of theirs that had any traction in the United States at all. They're a very British band and very just thickly English. And but Senses Working Overtime's really catchy song.
Oh, great song.
So anyway, XTC, English Settlement, that's my 4th pick.
All right. I've got to have some hits here, and I don't know if anyone had a better period of making hits, to me at least, than Prince did in the late 80s and early 90s. And the thing about Prince, though, it's like I don't like his albums from beginning to end. He can get kind of tedious for me and everything. Mm-hmm. But he's got like 2 or 3 songs almost every album, especially during that time period, that I would just have to have. So this is my greatest hits collection. It's the hits, the B-sides from 1993 by Prince. And it's a 3-disc thing, actually. Right. I know the first 2 are the ones I liked more than the B-sides. But it's got everything, man. Everything that I like. It's got 1999. It's got Pop Life, Alphabet Street, When Doves Cry, Raspberry Beret, Kiss, You Got the Look, Get Off. And it's like just the best hooks in the most imaginative way and the funky grooves. Just everything that you need in a song that will make you feel good. And I don't have to listen to like a whole damn Prince album with filler songs and songs I don't care for. So, like I say, that one little period for him is probably, I think, for my personal taste, the best time period for any artist, in terms of putting out good hits. So that would be a greatest hits collection.
I had a hard time eliminating Prince's Sign of the Times from my list. Because
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. He has weak moments in a lot of his albums, but I think Sign of the Times
That
is
was
start to
that
finish.
was an iconic album.
Yeah.
But I got to have all those other hits.
Yeah.
Or no Prince at all.
Well, that was part of the thing. It's like when you're looking at I was looking at that too. It's like, these are not my favorite songs. I'm not getting the albums with my favorite songs on them. But like we said earlier, it's like I know all my favorite songs by heart. So,
Well, my wife and I were listening to music this weekend, and she just had her iPod on just random shuffle, and the song "Purple Rain" came on, and I hadn't heard that's the first when I really got into Prince was "Purple Rain."
Yeah.
And man, that's such a great record.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. That one. I don't think there's a weak song on that one either.
Right. No. But I'm more of a hits person than an album person anyway. Yeah. So just give me his hits, all of them. I want all the hits.
Well, my next one on here is one that would fit on an island. It's Roaring Lion Sacred 78s. Sacred 78s being 78 RPM discs.
Oh my God. Exotica's old music, so I'll give it 78.
Well, this stuff comes mostly from the 30s through the 50s, early 50s. But he's my favorite calypso artist, one of my two favorite calypso artists. But his stuff is just so much fun. You can dig in the lyrics. He has this clever wordplay that goes through all the songs. He was a real smart ass. He sang about things. He sang about lesbian couples back in the 40s.
Right.
And not criticizing particularly or anything. He was just
Matter
super.
of fact.
Yeah, it was just.
They happened.
Yeah.
They existed.
And they still do.
And he's got, songs like "Wash Your Hands and Clean Your Fingernails," just about personal hygiene. I played that one a lot on the radio when we were going through COVID. But it's so much fun that I could spend hours listening to these over and over and getting through the lyrics, memorizing the lyrics, and be happy.
Good. You got to have the happy music.
Yeah.
Well, my next, in continuing with bands that are just three letters, and I had a hard time. I just picked REM Reckoning, which was their second record. Their first one's great too. REM was right when I was first playing guitar, learning how to play electric guitar. The bands I was listening to were, Led Zeppelin and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Yes, and I couldn't play any of that stuff.
Right.
But when I heard REM, I remember the local commercial rock station, it was Rock 104, had, I guess it was some kind of promotion where they said, all right, we're going to play a new artist, and they'd call in and let us know. It's like smash it or trash it.
Right.
And they played Radio Free Europe from Murmur, which was REM's first record. And I remember thinking, that is not like anything else on Rock 104, but it was the first thing that I thought, I could do that.
Right.
I can play guitar like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're
that makes you feel more connected to the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all my friends thought I was like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, this is great music. It sounds like the Byrds. I remember thinking every guitar in those days had to be distorted and reverbed and like it was coming from a mountaintop. And all of a sudden, here's Pete Buck just playing these little jangly chords with no distortion. And it just made me think, yeah, rock and roll might work for me.
Huh.
I like that record a lot. And later in life, I played in a band that got to record at Mitch Easter's recording studio. Mitch Easter produced those first two records for REM. And when we walked in the studio, the first thing you saw when you walked into the studio was the 16-track 2-inch tape machine that Murmur and Reckoning were recorded on. And it was just like, you get on your knees. And he wasn't even using it. But anyway.
Cool.
And like you said about Mike Craver, when you meet someone that you really admire, when they turn out to be really cool, that's just great. And Mitch Easter was that way. He's smart and funny and just a great musician and a really nice guy. So anyway, that's my REM bit.
So the inevitable Kate Bush dilemma is here. And all three of us have been making efforts to talk about more music than our default best favorite go-tos, but there was no way we could do this.
All right.
And just leave out. I mean, there was no way we could. So there's no way I couldn't have to figure out the Kate Bush dilemma. So I did eliminate her earlier albums because I feel less connection to them at this point. And of course, you wouldn't have liked those so much. I think her two best albums are Hounds of Love, which has Running Up That Hill on it, and The Dreaming. But as beautifully done as they are and everything, it's like I really like her most recent, well, not her most recent, but a more recent this century album called Ariel. I think it's from 2005. And I thought, but that's not really the spirit of Kate Bush. So she, knowing that I would face this dilemma, and because Kate Bush cares about me and her whole career is based around me, she created, even though she has a fear of performing live, and she stopped performing for decades after she was a teenager. She created a show called Before the Dawn, and it's a live album, and she weaves, and it's only she could do, she weaves songs from her whole collection. It includes all of The Ninth Wave, which is the second half of Hounds of Love album. I've talked about it to death, but it has a lot of my favorite songs in new context. To hear them live, to hear dialogue, because it's also kind of like a play or something. It's a whole new, and it's from 2016, so it has a more contemporary feeling. And it's so, I mean, she's always been kind of ahead of her time for maturity and all, but it's just such a, it's like a quantum physics thing. It's like this would be an album for my soul because of how at peace she is with the world and interconnected, and how she tells her stories, and just for her to come back through everything she's done and reformulate it in such an effective way. It's like, well, this is obviously what I have to go through over all of her.
But you say it is live.
It's live, yeah.
But she swore off of live performance.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. I think her first two albums, she had to do live touring. It made her a mess, and she said she wasn't going to do it again. And then somehow, that was like, I guess the 80s, and then somehow she's maybe in her 60s or probably 50s when she did Before the Dawn. Yeah. She just came back and she did this, and I wanted to get to England and see it. She only did it in English. She didn't tour with it. It's like, that's asking too much. But she did this because she knew I was going to do a podcast where I would have to pick my favorite 10 albums to be on an island. And she
just did you a solid.
Yeah, she thought, my friend Chuck is going to want something of mine. Let me give him something so that he can have that. And thank you, Kate Bush.
So what number was that?
That's my sixth one. It wouldn't be number 6. I'm not doing them like that. I'm just going through.
Well, I'm trying to.
I've done 6. I've got 4 to go.
Okay. Well, I've already done 7, so.
Okay.
I'll sit back one.
Okay. Then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6 for me.
Okay.
And this is a band from New York called Television.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tom Verlaine was the leader of the band, and Richard Lloyd. Both were really, really great and different electric guitar players. But Tom Verlaine's guitar style had a huge influence on me. He's not a traditional player. He claims that he's influenced by John Coltrane, the jazz saxophone player who had famously, was it Sheets of Sound? But it's just really unique music. It came out during the punk new wave explosion in New York, and they played with all like the Talking Heads and the Ramones and all the New York punk bands. But Television's not really punk. They have long extended guitar solos, and they build the album is Marquee Moon. They put out several albums, but Marquee Moon is their first one, and the song, the title track, Marquee Moon, builds to this long, cathartic, emotional guitar solo that just builds up and builds up and builds up, and it's really intense. I know you would hate it, Chuck. But
it's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah. I'm sitting here feeling how awesome that must be for you.
Well, I just love that record. And it's got kind of cryptic lyrics. It's like I fell into the arms of Venus de Milo, and which I think is kind of interesting because you don't know where the arms of Venus de Milo are.
Right.
Anyway,
we all have our ideas.
I've never thought about it, to tell you the truth.
And in fact, they were so influential that my band in Memphis, we put out a record, and we just made a record label out of it, and we called it Ivy DeMilo. was the name of it, because the Spinal Tap album Intravenous de Milo, which was a picture of the Venus de Milo with an IV going into one of the stumps of her missing arms. It's hilarious. So Ivy de Milo was our record label.
All right, I'm going to do a storytelling one.
Okay.
And this is Beyonce's Lemonade. Okay. Which I have said over and over and over, this is by far the best thing she's ever done. It's just an incredible album. It's about, it's basically about being cheated on and the whole world collapsing on her, and then the weakness that she felt and the anger and how she pieced it back together. She comes through it and she's stronger on the other side. It's a full story. It's just an incredible, I'm not her biggest fan. I like a lot of her songs. I don't know why people pick on her all the time, but this album is one of the best albums of the 2010s. So it's also, I think, an artistically great album, and it also it makes me feel a lot of feels going through it. That there's, especially when she's bitter, there's this song called Sorry that's just really, it's just really cathartic, and then Freedom, All Night, Formation. It's just like a great feeling to go through this whole thing, and she's just a powerful singer, and the arrangements are really cool. It's just something that people who are already turned off by her are never going to listen to her missed. But I would want that. I would want that to be my story, to hear that, because in the end, she's a better person, and that's where you want to get if you're on a desert island by yourself.
Well, see, I should pick something like that I don't know, just so I'd have something to discover.
I'll send you off with Beyonce's Lemonade.
Well, we need all these.
Maybe we'll all three be there and we can share each other.
Yeah, we can make each other listen to each other's albums.
But then, Chuck, Wayne, you and I have too many similar. No, but
You'd both have to listen to Kate Bush. This is so awesome.
Well, this is,
you could teach me.
I'm willing to listen to Kate Bush. I've never listened to Kate Bush.
When Chuck and I were sitting across from each other at the newspaper, it was a regular thing. You need to listen to this. You need to listen to that.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it would be, oh, wow, this this is great. And most of the time it's sort of like, okay, this is really nice.
I can see you like that. I can see why you like that.
Flash forward about 15 years, and here we are.
And here we are.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw out Frank Zappa's "Strictly Gentile."
Okay.
Which is a collection of his classical pieces, and the title cut is one of my favorite pieces of music of all time. It's 7 minutes, and I think he's crammed everything about life into that one song.
Oh wow!
All instrumental.
Okay. The whole album's instrumental?
Yeah, whole album's instrumental, and Strictly Gentile is like a 7 minute. It's like it was his personal favorite piece, and it's also my favorite piece that he ever did. But it just has the kitchen sink thrown into it. It's beautiful. It's ugly. It's silly. He has like horns that sound like ducks at one point. And he said at one point that sometimes you just can't make the piece of music ugly enough. You have to bring on a giraffe. It's like that album or that song feels like it has a giraffe.
Right.
But man, by the end of it, it feels inspirational, and it gets me kind of teary eyed because it's so pretty when it finishes.
Have you ever seen? Zappa hand wrote all of his scores out by hand, and his handwriting is amazing.
Well, he worked on. He was writing classical music from the time he was a teenager.
Yeah, doo-wop and classical music.
Doo-wop, both of those, and it was like. If you listen to his this is traditional kind of classical music, it's really, really pretty. And that's one of the reasons I would pick that is you can listen to his stuff, and he's got such a variation in everything. And he'll have one piece, a little short piece that just sounds like beautiful Christmas music, and the next piece is just this ugly cacophony, but you start picking it apart, and it's like, oh, this is really interesting. I really like this. But it would be hard. That was hard to pick from Zappa's stuff, too.
Oh, man, he's got so much music.
But that's the one that's like, it's very different. It doesn't have any lyrics, and none of his humor is there except in the instrumental part.
Right.
I'll have to look that one up. Okay, I'll go next then. I thought I probably would need some, all of my stuff so far has been guitar and music, and I thought maybe some variety would be nice, and so I picked Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Cool. Which is just a beautiful record. It's all improvised. It's just, he came in with the roughest sketch of an idea, and then the other instruments, the other guys just got on board, and it's amazing.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh. That was pointed.
I haven't brought up the word Madonna yet, but hold on. Hold on, though. Hold on. So I thought, I don't want Like a Virgin and Vogue and old Madonna stuff like that on my desert island. I don't need that.
Right.
And I thought, what mood would Madonna fit? And I thought, I'm a man, and men have their needs, and there may be a nice ripe mango I come across. Maybe there's a
You talk about me talking. You try to censor the things I say. Here you go about having sex with a mango. Come on.
I'm being realistic. There could be...
Talking about Madonna's mangoes.
Right. Well, there could be a cute coconut on the beach giving me the eye or something like that. A man has his needs.
Before you go on, have you seen the Mighty Boosh episode, Milky Joe, where they're stranded on an island and they start creating like fake people with coconuts, and one of them gets jealous over the other one's girlfriend?
Right. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, right? So I was thinking about that Madonna album, Erotica. And that was in the 90s. And that was her album that she was always made to do. It's the big sex album. And it's got more layers to that. And her voice is more mature and everything. And I thought, well, if I'm doing that, then I kind of want the most recent Madonna. For me, her last greatest album was Confessions on the Dance Floor, which was in the 2000s at least. Very mature and everything. I thought, but that's not really sexy. I thought, well, Lords of Acid, I mean, that's certainly sexy if you've got a coconut you're courting or whatever. I thought, well, that's too crude. And we're talking about perishable fruit. So how much effort are you going to put into romancing something that's only going to be a short-term affair? So I thought, really what I need, punt Madonna, I need Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. Because it's romantic and it's about death. And it's a romantic death album, and that's what you got when you got a short-time companion, I think.
I hope there's some melons on the island. That's all I can say. It's, melons would be a lot better.
Well, I don't say you won't meet someone else and perfectly nice, something else, a papaya or whatever. So with due respect to the mango and the coconut, you move on with the papaya. And Lana Del Rey can just keep that chain going. And I do love Lana Del Rey, and I do love Born to Die. So Madonna just got left out.
And how do you feel about fruit?
Yeah.
I like fruit. Now listen, I wouldn't be harassing any critters or anything. I don't think there's anything what I'm talking about. So
I can't believe you have the nerve to criticize when I say some of the things I've said.
Was I? Okay.
Oh, we had a sign up here.
A man alone on an island is not just going to be listening to, great songs. I
want silence if that's going on.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so Lana Del Rey makes it. Madonna's out.
Okay. All right. I'm going to my next one. This is my ninth one.
I don't know how you're going to follow that.
Stay Awake, I've recommended this before, Stay Awake, various interpretations of music from Disney movies or Disney films. It's a collection put together by producer Hal Wilner, and the reason I picked this, other than the fact that I love it, and it's just, again, it's one of those, it's a journey from start to finish, it gets me a little taste of like The Replacements, Tom Waits, The Roaches, Sid Straw, who
very
was
crafty,
Buster Poindexter, Herb Alpert, and Ringo Starr, who sing "When You Wish Upon a Star" that ends it, and it's like everything's going to be okay.
The two of them singing together?
He plays trumpet while Ringo sings,
okay.
and it's beautiful. It's got Nielsen on it doing Zippity Doo Dah. It's got Sun Ra doing Pink Elephants on Parade.
Isn't someone like Suzanne Vega on there?
Yes, Suzanne Vega is on it too. She does the title track, Stay Awake.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great record.
And
I remember when it came out, I was working in the record store, and I would play that all the time.
Yeah, and it's got Aaron Neville doing the Mickey Mouse March.
Good one.
It's terrific. But yes, it would push a lot of buttons for me, so I could say, well, I can still hear these voices.
All right. My next one, which would be again, I thought just for some variety, I might need some music to just really calm down and meditate to. And so I picked Brian Eno, Apollo, Atmospheres, and Soundtracks. It was hard between that or discrete music. But Apollo, he took the Apollo moon landing videos and put music to them, because he always said the television stations presented this information way too newsy. You know, it was like they were just talking about, well, he's coming out of the capsule now and all, you know, and it's like he thought it just didn't convey the majesty and the mystery of being in outer space. And it's him and Daniel Lanois, who's another producer, who's produced a bunch of people. He's produced Bob Dylan and a bunch of people. He plays pedal steel. And pedal steel, which you think of as being a real country instrument, is also really great for making spacey, drifting kind of sounds.
When you're smoking weed, pedal steel guitar is like the best music to listen to.
There may be weed growing on this island.
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be great. But anyway, Apollo soundtrack, or Atmospheres and Soundtracks by Brian Eno. I couldn't recommend that album anymore. It's beautiful.
All right, I wanted something modern, you know, and I went through the whole Olivia Rodrigo, Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, all that stuff. And I just thought, I'm going to go with Taylor Swift. Okay. And I was originally thinking the 1989 album that she put out in 2014, because that's when she broke big in the pop world, and that was Shake It Off and Blank Space. And anyway, and then I just thought, you know, this new album of hers from 2025, The Life of a Showgirl, it's actually an optimistic album. She's in a new relationship. She's happy in this new relationship. It's uncomplicated. So much of her music is very dense and very down, you know, or at least borderline down. And this one is really just kind of a celebration. She's in her mid-30s, you know, and she's doing well. And it's got a fun song with Sabrina Carpenter on it too. And I know you would like that, Wayne.
Oh, but, yeah. I can't wait.
I would just to have something new. I think something 2025, Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift, one of our most best active performers and songwriters anyway. And to hear her, you know, mature and happy is it would be a good thing to have around.
Well, and I think you recommended this as a recommendation on an earlier episode. And, you know, I've never really listened to a whole lot of Taylor Swift. Right. Really, prior to this new record, the only Taylor Swift I'd listened to was when she did a Tiny Desk concert. Yeah. And that was, she came on and it was her and an acoustic guitar and a piano. And she said, I just wanted you to hear how these songs that have become popular sounded when I wrote them. Right. And I was just blown away by how good that was. And then you recommended it, and I thought, well, let's just give it a listen. And I was expecting kid stuff, and it's not. It's the production is not huge and bombastic. It's not. It's like it's really up close. You can hear what she's saying. It's not over the top. It's just really good singing, good songwriting. I really like that.
And that song, Fate of Ophelia, that's become her biggest hit of all time, and it is so catchy. I mean, I thought nothing would ever beat Shake It Off, but it is so catchy and so well executed. You know, it's not just hitting, you know, little spots. It's just a really good song, and it's an uplifting song, and it'd be good to know, you know, that she had a happy period in her life, you know. I've just got one more. What about you guys?
Well, I've got two more, but then I've got two honorable mentions.
Oh, I got so many honorable mentions I can't believe it. I'm not going to say them all. I'm just saying.
Well, we're running short of time anyway, so maybe just get through our 10.
Well, you've got two. Go ahead.
All right. My next one is Tom Petty, Wildflowers.
Yeah, that was I just eliminated that one, even though I love it.
That's such a great record. There's not a bad song on it. And I can't. Who's the producer?
Well, Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin. Man, I don't know. I just drew a blank. He just got the best out of Tom Petty.
Mm-hmm.
Tom sounds real. It's intimate. It's right in your face. It's not. I mean, Jeff Lynne did a lot of great things with Tom Petty, but Jeff Lynne is his own thing, and it's really synthetic and real big and wide and coming at you. And Rick Rubin just took all that away, and it's just like Tom and an acoustic guitar, and then he brought his band in, and it's a fantastic record.
Some of his best songs.
Yeah.
It's a great one. And I was looking at that one or Full Moon Fever, and then I looked at the track lists again. It's like, no, Wildflowers is way better than Full Moon Fever, even as good as Full Moon Fever is.
Yeah. And Wildflowers is credited as a Tom Petty record. It's not Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, but it's mostly Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. they got a new drummer.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's a terrific album.
Yeah, fantastic.
Have you done 10 already?
I got one more.
Okay.
And I'm still deciding.
Okay. John, you want to go with your...
All right. I'm going to go with Paul Simon's first solo record.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Named Paul Simon. It's really, really well done. Beautiful songs. It's got Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. It's got Cecilia. It's got The Boxer.
No, actually, those two are on Bridge Over Troubled Water.
The Boxer.
Yeah.
What was the other one I just said?
You said
Cecilia and The Boxer are both on Bridge Over Troubled Water, but that one has it's got Peace Like a River. It's got
Detroit. Detroit got a hell of a hockey team.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of the song. But song for song, it's wonderful. Record.
It's a great album.
All right, I'll go with my 10th. I'm going to need humor,
right,
beyond just the B-52s and everything. So I am going to unapologetically take the Bloodhound Gang. Hooray for boobies. Turn of the century. It's not always politically correct. It's a lot of stupid humor. I love Jimmy Pop's vocals. I like the way he sings. Uh-huh. I like the songs that they create and everything. And a lot of the humor is just dumb humor. And if I'm by God on a deserted island by myself, I will listen to whatever I want to listen to and not worry about what people in the civilized world are concerned about. So I like it. I begrudgingly like some songs. I like, The Bad Touch, Mope, the Ballad of Chasey Lane. Maybe even, it has a lap dance that's so much better when the stripper is crying. But, maybe I won't listen to that because that's a little much. But I like the album. I need something that'll make me laugh, I'm sure. And they always make me laugh. And they remind me of good times.
Yeah. I bet the song you were thinking about on his first album is Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a whole lot like The Boxer. The whole theme of it
tells
is
a story about a kid who's thanking the Lord for his fingers.
Right, exactly. I was thinking, that's not it, but I know there's one that's just a whole lot like that, and that's what it is. Yeah. Duncan, and it's also got, Me and Julio and Mother and Child Reunion.
Yeah, Mother and Child Reunion.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne, wrap it up.
All right. Well, see, my problem is I wanted something live, and my favorite live recording is Otis Redding at the Monterey Pop Festival. So it's kind of cheating to put the Monterey Pop box because it's like all sorts of stuff there. But I had an album that had on one side it was Otis Redding's performance at Monterey Pop. On the other side it was Jimi Hendrix's at the Monterey Pop. They never put that together on a CD or released it again. I don't think. It was only available for a short time. I just dropped that.
I don't even know what it is. Okay.
It was a lid off my drink.
Okay.
But so I guess I have to go back to that vinyl copy with Otis Redding on one side and Jimi Hendrix on the other.
Sounds like a pretty great record.
Yeah, sounds like you got a BOGO there.
It's phenomenal. Jimi Hendrix kind of stole the show because this was his first real big, get out there moment. And Otis Redding was right behind him, and this was the moment where he came over from the R&B and soul side, and the hippies all got on board, and it just looked like he was just going to take over the world. And of course, he died a few months later because he was in a plane crash in Wisconsin. But man, he's got the Bar-Kays and Booker T and the MGs backing him up, and it is just phenomenal. You cannot get a better live performance, and that would make me feel alive.
I beg your pardon.
With apologies to Kate Bush for her one or two shows.
Excuse you. How very dare you.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's mine.
Recommendations land. Where do we want to go with that? I'll go first.
You go first.
We want to do music or movies? I'll do music.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend A Bad Girl in Harlem by New Politics.
Okay.
This was a Danish band. It came out in 2013.
Okay.
They were based in Brooklyn at the time. Frontman David Boyd is really cool. It's just a bracing fun. It's a hodgepodge of playful rock, and they kind of go through the different types of rock from that time, basically. Jaunty songs. It's like a timeless grab bag, I guess.
What's the name of the album again?
It's called A Bad Girl in Harlem, and it's New Politics, 2013. They got plucky pop rock, a wistful power pop. That's the song Berlin. goth. There's a goth song on there called "Die Together." Runaway pop punk, just like. But the best song on there is called "Harlem." And Boyd, he had an affair, or he had a girlfriend from Harlem, and he was in Brooklyn. And she was it was a very tempestuous relationship, and she was kind of all over the map and everything. But it sounds a lot like My Sharona. It's got this propulsive kind of rhythm and everything. And they sing like on the note, on the beat. And it's just a lot of fun. And it really was it lit me up for a while there when it came out. And it was from 2013, New Politics.
New Politics, okay.
And A Bad Girl in Harlem. That's the album I want to recommend.
Cool. John?
Yeah. Last week I recommended They Might Be Giants album called Mink Car. It's a great record. But that made me think, there's a bunch of They Might Be Giants album that I have not heard.
Yeah.
And one that I just leaned into, it is called Glean, Glean, and it's from 2015.
I don't know that one.
And it's just song after song of just amazingly well-written pop songs. They're such great pop songwriters.
Yeah.
And they'll write about the weirdest things. Whatever they want to write about, they'll write about that.
And they're really prolific, too. I mean,
yes.
It was impossible to keep up with that.
Yeah, they used to have a phone line you could call. It was Dial a Song. Yeah. And they just put a new song. It was just an answering machine. And they would put a new song on it every day.
Yeah.
As good as they were, I just couldn't keep up with all that. Were you doing them too? Or?
I was doing them too.
It was just too much. Yeah. It'd be like, oh, that was a great album. Oh, there they are again. It's another great album.
It's kind of like Guided by Voices. They were like that too. Robert Pollard just writes so much that you just get lost in the...
I like them, but I think They Might Be Giants has a better batting average on how great their songs are.
Yeah. You got to separate out the wheat from the chaff with Guided by Voices. Some of their stuff is grating and noisy.
And hardly anything by They Might Be Giants is not at least really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if you reviewed Factory Showroom or not, but it may have been my favorite album of that year when it came out. It was in my top 10. That was like their last album for Elektra Records. It's like I tend to like the ones where,
they just throw whatever they want out there.
Well, it's like their contract runs out,
is
running out, and people like quit trying to guide them and everything, and they just go, well, we're just going to do what we want.
Yeah.
And then it's like their best album.
What's your music recommendation today?
My music recommendation for today is Mickey Newberry's. That's not it. Looks Like Rain. It's his first official album. It came out it was 67 or 68, I can't remember. But Mickey Newberry was a really odd country artist. Everybody knows him for the American Trilogy thing that Elvis always did, would put together All My Trials and Dixie and Battle Hymn of the Republic into one song. But he made concept records at a time when country music did not have concept records. He would like tie the songs together with like rainstorms and things, and you fade in and out. And he's the guy who wrote "Just Dropped In to See What Condition My Condition Was In." And when I asked him, "Is that really about an acid trip?" he said, "Oh yeah, a real bad one."
So what album have you?
It's called "Looks Like Rain," and it's got it's just this great kind of song cycle. And again, it's an album that just draws you through it, and you don't want to stop listening to it. It's got the 33rd of August, which is this great song about the end of a relationship. He could write songs about the end of relationships like nobody's business. He could be the Taylor Swift of his day. But great stuff.
She would have dated him.
Yeah, well, yeah, he would have dated her, I'm sure. But super guy. I did an interview with him. I stayed until 10 o'clock so I could get a hold of him because he booked a show at the Laurel Theater like a week before. And the only reason anybody showed up is they read my story in the paper, and because nobody knew about it. But there was like, I think, 15 or 20 of us there, but he was amazing. Great artist.
All right.
Wayne saved the day.
Yeah.
Well, it kept thanking me for it all night long because everybody said, "I read about this in the paper."
Else to talk to, so.
Well, I mean, it was the thing is he hadn't been able to promote it. I don't know how it got booked. He was just passing through, I guess.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, great artist. All his stuff is good, but that's a good one to get started with.
Got a TV show, movie, something?
Why don't you go? And
All right. I'm going to recommend Greenland 2.
Oh.
It came out in January, and I saw it in the theater. The original Greenland came out in 2020, pandemic year, so people didn't really see it in the theater because they weren't going to the theater to see anything. But it got traction on streaming and cable and everything, so they've circled back around. It's 5 years later. Reminder, Greenland, that's our Gerard Butler and Marina Baccarin. It's a married couple with a troubled relationship and a little boy who's, what was his... He was not anemic, but diabetes or something. He had to have insulin, I think. Okay. Anyway, so the premise of the first Greenland was that the world was facing an extinction event by way of comet. There's going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert here because I can't get to 2 without talking about 1. So they were among a few people around the world who were selected to be transported to underground bunkers to see if they could survive what this comet was going to do to the planet. And there's a possibility that no one would survive. And it was their harrowing trip to get from Atlanta, Georgia, to a plane in Canada to Greenland. It was like a very active movie. They all got separated from each other. It was a lot of trauma and everything.
And they come through Knoxville.
They come through Knoxville, yeah, with that really terrible couple that was going to stop in Knoxville. Yeah, that's where... But anyway... in Greenland, so the first Greenland ends with the world has survived, and they venture out and they see birds, and that's kind of the end of the movie. So I was like, okay, everything wasn't killed off. So Greenland 2 is 5 years later, and they're still living up there, but they can go in and out, and they've discovered other people around the world who've also survived. You don't know just how many people were wiped out. Most of the world was wiped out, but there's still pockets of people around. And something happens, and there's like a new tragedy they're facing, especially in Greenland. So everybody in Greenland has to make an escape, and you got to just suspend your disbelief more in this one than in the first one. And the stakes aren't as high because we've already lost 80% of the world. So what's another 10% or what But they are trying to get to the survivors who get off of Greenland are trying to get to an area, I guess, in southern France that might be kind of a utopia area because the air is toxic and it's causing kind of just advanced death. Not like they come across some old people in one area they're going, and they've been living with it for 4 or 5 years, I guess, but it's eventually going to poison everybody, but it's taking its time. So they're trying to get to a place, and it's kind of a road trip and kind of like an escape from New York kind of thing where they're just trying to get somewhere and there are people opposing them and people helping them. And the best thing about it, I think, is they kind of get into the more characters. Gerard Butler and Marina Baccarin are the main two. And they've got a new son, and he's older. He's more like 15, so he's a little more interesting than the little kid was because, he's got hormones and they're teenage girls, and stuff like that. So it gets more into the heart of the story. It's not quite as good as the first, but if you like the first, you probably want to watch it on streaming or whatever.
I like the first one. You recommended the first one, so I watched it.
I really enjoyed the first one.
It was good.
Yeah. You got one?
Yeah. In my search for rock documentaries on HBO Max, I found Mavis with an exclamation point from 2015, and it's a documentary about Mavis Staples and the Staples family singers. And there's a lot of stuff I did not realize. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mavis Staples. I've seen her live. She was at a theater here just last year, and the Staples singers were famous for singing protest songs about civil rights back in the day, and they toured with Martin Luther King when he was giving rallies. They would music for the Martin Luther King rallies, and the songs like "I'm a Soldier on the Freedom Highway" or whatever. It's still, I mean, when she was singing it just last year, it is still true. Yeah, it's just amazing, and she just makes me cry. She just is so amazing. Things I did not realize about her was that early on, Bob Dylan fell in love with her and wanted to marry her.
Really?
Yeah, and not just in passing either. It was like over a period of months. he expressed how much he loved her and wanted to marry her.
Wow.
Did she not return the favor?
She really liked him and everything, but she wasn't going to marry him.
But not like that.
Not like that. And then
Friend zone.
And then so the Staples Singers was Pop Staples. It was Mavis's dad, and Mavis and her sister Yvonne and their brother Purvis, I think is the name. That was the Staples Family Singers. And then when Pops died, Mavis just went solo basically. And in the late 80s, she signed to Prince's record label, and Prince produced 2 albums with her. The second of which was right when he was in dispute with is it Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers.
And so her second solo record never came out because of the dispute between Prince and Warner Brothers. But I never knew Mavis had anything to do with Prince,
right? Which
seems like it would be a good pairing.
Yeah. Well, he produced the Steels, which is a gospel group, and they did a great version of Stevie Wonder's "Heaven Help Us All." That you can kind of hear the Prince signature on there. It's really, really good.
You should have had her on your desert island there, John.
Yeah.
You didn't have any women. She was the one.
It would probably have been the Staples Singers with their album Respect Yourself.
That's a great album.
Which is just amazing.
All right. Well, I'm going to recommend something that everybody should have seen. I'm just recommending it in case you haven't seen it. If you ever thought there was some reason that you wouldn't like this movie, we just rewatched The Princess Bride. I showed it to my 9-year-old grandson, and he loved it. It stands up, is funny. It's intriguing through the whole thing. The dialogue is great, and I mean Rob Reiner did so many great films, but that may be his best.
It's wonderfully cast.
Yeah, it's
Cary Elwes.
Cary Elwes he's the farm boy that has gone to save Princess Buttercup, who is Robin Wright.
Right.
And then it's got Andre the Giant, Mandy Patinkin, and Wallace Shawn as the 3 characters who have been hired by the prince to actually kidnap and later kill Princess Buttercup. But Mandy Patinkin and Andre the Giant change allegiances. And it's fun from start to finish, and it's got a good heart. Peter Falk is the grandfather telling the story to Fred Savage, who keeps interrupting and going, "Is this going to be more kissing?"
It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that's a movie that everyone assumes everyone has seen, but, younger people keep coming out and they've not seen these things, so, yeah.
And if you missed it, I mean,
if you haven't seen it in a long time, you go back and watch it again.
And it holds up.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things I can't imagine somebody not liking it.
Yeah.
It's that, lovable.
Yeah.
And Wallace Shawn is just a treasure.
Inconceivable.
Did you see my dinner with Andre?
Yes.
Did you see my breakfast with Blassie?
No, I haven't seen that. I saw that it was made.
It's Andy Kaufman, the comedian, who takes a pro wrestling promoter out to breakfast. And so my dinner with Andre is Wallace Shawn and a friend of his having this dinner conversation that is just highbrow, conceptual, out there, really high-minded stuff. And my breakfast with Blassie is the exact opposite.
Well, if my breakfast with Blassie is as entertaining as my dinner with Andre, which, you think, am I going to actually sit and watch for an hour and a half 2 guys just sitting and talking to each other at the table? You think, I can't force myself to do this. And then when you do it, you can't stop watching it. It just gets more and more interesting. Yeah. It's like Henry Rollins, Henry Rollins show. He just starts talking, and 2.5 hours have passed.
You're still listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, hopefully we won't end up on a desert island, but we do hope that you've enjoyed this and that you can reach out to us by sending an email to howweheardit@gmail.com if you got any ideas, feedback, or anything like that. And we are all over social media. We're on YouTube and Facebook and X and Twitter, and Reels, and Wayne's coughing. And he'll be okay.
I saved it.
We're going to take him outside, beat him up. And everything else.
Cough.
TikTok. Yeah, you'll think cough. That'll be... Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.